Despite the failure of Lightyear last year, Disney and Pixar are trying again, and this time with Elemental now playing in theaters. But is this new animated film worth a chance for Disney and Pixar to redeem themselves? Or is this yet another disappointment from the studio that gave us Toy Story and other films, a film that deserves to be vaporized and snuffed out at once? Find out in this spoiler-free review right now. Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. So greetings, my fellow YouTubers, and welcome to Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. My name is Doyle, better known to as the Big D, and this time around I bring to you a spoiler-free review of the just now released computer-animated romantic dramedy flick Elemental, released by Disney along with Pixar. This is the overall 27 feature film produced by Pixar, featuring the voices of Leah Lewis, Mamoudou Athie, Ronnie Del Carmen, Sheila Omi, Wendi, McLendon-Covey, and Catherine O'Hara. The film was directed by Peter Shawn and produced by Denise Ream. Written by Mr. Shawn along with John Hoberg, Kat Lakel, and Brenda Shui. How you pronounce it. Anyway, this film is set in a world inhabited by anthropomorphic elements of nature. The story follows fire element Ember Lumen and water element Wade Ripple, who meet and fall in love after Wade is summoned by a plumbing accident at a convenience store owned by Ember's father, Bernie. This film is subtitled Forces of Nature in some countries. Well, after watching this, I'm going to say this film is not too bad. Well, it's not one of Disney and Pixar's best, but I still enjoyed it for what it had to offer. I mean, I liked how it had a little bit of a Romeo and Juliet collab and what have you. And how I liked how that the story for this was inspired by other romantic films like Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, Moonstruck, and Amelie. Anyway, yeah. Well, it starts with two fire elements, Bernie and Cinder Lumen, as they immigrate to Element City, where they face xenophobia from other elements, where it's mostly been air and well, plants and what have you, plant-like characters, earth-like characters. Well, you get the point. And water, well, live and what have you. Well, they have to struggle to find a home, and they have a daughter named Ember, and eventually establish a convenience store called the Fireplace, setting up a blue flame that represents their heritage and traditions, and attracting many fire element patrons over time. Well, Ember dreams of taking over the business once Bernie retires, but must first control her fiery temper. Well, when Ember gets her chance, she becomes overwhelmed by the customers and rushes to the basement, and her fiery outburst breaks a pipe, flooding the basement and summoning Wade Ripple, a water element health inspector. He notes the faulty plumbing and leaves for City Hall to report the violation to his air element employer, Gail Cumulus, who will promptly shut down the fireplace and what have you. So Ember has to try and do her best, and with Wade's help, try to save her father's store. Anyway, that's all of the story I'm going to give to you. I will not give you the whole thing because this is a spoiler-free review, and you already know that. Now, from what I've seen of the film, I thought it was pretty good and what have you. Anyway, now, for reviews, it's mostly been mixed and what have you. It's currently at 76% on Rotten Tomatoes. They say, well, it may not satisfy as fully as the greatest Pixar pictures, but it remains a solid story with dazzling visual flair. I agree. Cinema Score gave it an A. The rap says with story beats and character turns that strain well beyond familiarity, the film matches formal adventure with storytelling timidity. Excuse me. Here is a new spin on the old formula, livened up by the advances in technology and delivered with real artistry. The film is full of complex and volatile parts, all held together in the most elemental of containers. Yes. And Cinema Blend gives a good one, saying people falling in love with in animated films is certainly nothing new. It happens all the time. However, we're never seeing a major. Well, I think it meant to say we've never seen a major animation studio like Pixar produce such a purely romantic film as Elemental. And yes, you will cry. But contraire, it didn't make me cry. Oh, no, sir, and no, ma'am. But overall, I thought the story wasn't too bad in ways. Now they have Randy Newman's. Well, let's see. I'm trying to remember. Well, I just know. I just know he's real related to Randy Newman. I brought him up before. Let's see. Yeah, cousin. He's the cousin of Randy Newman. Thomas Newman, who had recently done scores for other Disney Pixar films, including Finding Nemo, which recently celebrated its 20th anniversary not so long ago, as well as WALL-E, which I will be reviewing that soon, and Finding Dory. He also did scores for other films, including The Shawshank Redemption, American Beauty, The Green Mile, Lemony Snicket's A Series of Unfortunate Events, Skyfall, Spectre, and 1917. Well, I'm going to say Newman's job on the score was pretty good. And anyway, this, of course, was his fourth collab on a Disney Pixar film. Now, the American singer and songwriter known as Lauv contributed a song to the film called Steal the Show, which that was actually pretty good. I'm not familiar with this singer though, but still, after hearing that song, it's not too bad. Now, for our voice acting cast, we have Leah Lewis, who most of you know her best as Georgia fan of the CW's Nancy Drew series, which that's soon to end, or I think it's already come to an end, voicing Ember. And I thought she was very, very good, as a matter of fact. Mamoudou Athie, that's how you say it, who more recently appeared in Jurassic World Dominion last year, voices Wade, and I must say he was good too. Voicing Bernie is Ryan Del Carmen, who was the story supervisor for Up and its accompanying short film, Doug's Special Mission. And he also co-directed Inside Out. Oh, which reminds me, speaking of Up, there's actually a short film called Carl's First Date you will see before the movie starts. Sheila Omi voices Cinder, Ember's mother, who was very good. Next, Gail Cumulus, voiced by Wendi McLendon-Covey, who, of course, you knew her best as Beverly Goldberg of the now-defunct ABC comedy The Goldbergs. Catherine O'Hara, I think you know her from Beetlejuice, Home Alone, and its sequel. And also Christopher Guest's mockumentaries that include Best in Show and A Mighty Wind, voices Brooke Ripple, Wade's mother. Anyway, and there's a host of other voices and what have you. Anyway, I thought it had a pretty good voice acting cast and what have you. So overall, the voice acting's fine. It's just that I feel like it was just a good idea for an idea where Fire and water could ever connect or not. But I won't tell you how that goes. You will have to see the movie, and I think you better see what you can. Okay. Because unfortunately, from what I've seen, this film unfortunately had a much worser opening. Yeah, I'm thinking, what's up with that? Lightyear eventually opened up to 50 million last year, and it was considered a major bomb, which I understand. Strange World from last year ends up being Disney's last big disappointment. Which that film was okay. I think it's just because that some critics are, as this film made 29 million, making it the worst opening for a Disney Pixar film since the day they came out with Toy Story. But it would be their second overall, well, for a non-sequel type thing or what have you. I don't know, behind A Bug's Life. Oh, and the reason for being the film's marketing and audiences getting used to waiting for Pixar films to be released on Disney Plus, since they had already released other films since the pandemic even started, like Soul, Luca, and Turning Red, also from last year. And competition from the more recent Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. So, I'm wishing this film the best of luck. Ratatouille ended up being the first Disney Pixar film to recover so much and do well worldwide with its overall total, considering it didn't open up completely. Well, sort of. But anyway, to heck with what they say. We're just coming to a little big misunderstanding. From what I've seen, Elemental's not too bad. I like the setting of Element City. Some of the characters are good. Well, the story's not too bad. The score from Thomas Newman's good. And it has a pretty good voice acting cast. So again, see Elemental while you still can in theaters while it's still there. Because again, I wish this film the best of luck. And if this doesn't do so well, Disney's going to have yet another big disappointment. In which case, I've got a bad feeling it is until they release their next film, Wish, later on this November. Which, well, you get the point, okay? So overall, Elemental was pretty good. For my score, I'm going to give Elemental 4.5 stars. On a scale of 1 to 10, I give it a 9. Definitely. So what did you think of Elemental? Let me know in the comment section below. If you liked the video, click the like button, subscribe, and be a part of the Big D Nation. Join me next time when I bring to you a review of Jurassic World. So I do hope you enjoyed this, and if you did, check out my reviews for the last few Disney Pixar films, starting with Luca from 2001, in the upper left-hand corner. In the upper right-hand corner is my review of Turning Red from last year in 2022. Or if you want, go to the bottom left-hand corner and see my spoiler-free review of Lightyear, also from last year. Well, all three of those videos I've suggested are spoiler-free. And the bottom right-hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe. If you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc., then I'm your guy. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya.